welcome to another Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union broadcast of Lumberjack basketball. Join us as we bring you the action live from the court with Tim Parrish. We want to take a moment to thank all of our Lumberjack sports sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now for the countdown to tip-off with Tim Parrish, and go Lumberjacks!
And welcome Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium as the Lumberjack girls get set to take on the Sandpoint Bulldogs in a non-league matchup here tonight from St. Mary's High School Gymnasium. JV game currently on the floor, and the JV girls trail 20-45, and the end of the getting towards the end of the third period of play. 27 seconds left in the third period. So that is where we are at right now. It is a cold night here in the St. Joe River Valley, and it is a good night to be sitting in the gymnasium watching some Lumberjack basketball. Let's see here. We want to give a thank you and a shout out to our title sponsor, Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union, proud sponsors of the School Spirit Program. The Potlatch Credit Union says, go Lumberjacks. With that being said, we are going to take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be back with the countdown to tip-off.
P1FCU gives you the freedom of control. Lost or stolen debit card? You have the control to stop fraud in its tracks by turning off your card from your smartphone. Traveling? Limit usage based on your location. Set up notifications and receive instant transaction and spending alerts. It's time to take control of your debit card with MobiMoney included with your checking account, only at P1FCU. P1FCU, your community, your credit union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
The St. Mary's Lumberjack Booster Club is looking for volunteers and active members to participate in the many activities the Booster Club does in support of our Lumberjacks. The Lumberjack Booster Club provides much appreciated support to the Lumberjack sports programs and is always looking for new active members and new ideas. The Booster Club is currently in need of new officers as well as volunteers to help with the Hall of Fame banquet and auction, spirit building, senior nights, and more. Anyone interested can contact Lynn Masterson at 208-568-1802 or just come to a meeting at the fire station.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires. Well, more like Les Schwab alignment and brakes and shocks and wheels and tires. Now, some tire places don't offer all that. They only sell tires. And we're not sure how they sleep at night, because all those services affect things like steering and stopping. That's why we offer more than tires to help keep you safe. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
And we are back. The countdown to tip-off here on KOFE. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium as the Lumberjack girls get set to take on the Sandpoint Bulldogs in non-league action. I'm going to try to see. The boys are in action tonight in Lakeland, so I'm going to see if I can hopefully get some updates coming from the gymnasium over in Lakeland and see how the boys are doing. So I'm going to be sending a quick message to get see if I can get that going. Okay, so we've got the Lumberjacks and the Bulldogs here to do battle tonight. First, so let's go ahead and take a look at the 2A Intermountain or the 2A Central Idaho League, which is the Lumberjacks, the Maniacs, and the Bulldogs in that league. St. Mary's, the girls, are off to a rough start on their season this year. They have a 3-7 record. They are 0-1 in league play. Their last game was a 44-43 loss to the Orofino Maniacs. The Lumberjack girls are 16th in the 2A power rankings, and they that is +1. They moved up one since the last time I checked those power rankings. The Grangeville Bulldogs, they have a 6-2 record, second in the power rankings. They moved up from third last week. Their last game was a loss to Lapway by a score of 78-56. The Orofino Maniacs have a 3-4 record, 1-0 in league. Like I just said, they beat the Lumberjacks 44-43 last Friday. They are 12th in the power rankings for 2A. They moved up 3 spots in those rankings. The top 10 power rankings for 2A. Melba is sitting at number 1. Grangeville is at second. Like I said, they moved up 1 from third. Nampa Christian, they went down 1 spot to third. Wendell, they were at 4th last time I checked. They are still sitting at 4th. Soda Springs went up 3 spaces. They are in 5th now. Declo moved up 1 space. They are up in 6th in the power rankings. Coal Valley went down 1. They are 7th in the power rankings. New Plymouth moved up 1 space. They are 8th in the power rankings. McCall Donnelly lost 4 spots as they are number 9, and Aberdeen is at number 10. They were there at 10 the last time I checked on the power rankings. So that is a look at the 2A Central Idaho League and the 2A League in the state. We will take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with more.
Looking for a new-to-you rig? You're in luck because Dell's Used Cars has your next truck. Dell's has the best variety of pre-owned trucks in one location anywhere south of the internet. Any make, any model, and new inventory arriving daily. Dell's also will take your trade-in, paid for or not. Financing available through Potlatch, Spokane Teachers, Numerica, and a handful of other lenders offering the most competitive interest rates available in the market today. Dell staff is laid back and knowledgeable and ready to answer any of your questions. Come into Dell's Used Cars located at 1818 North 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene or visit their website at dellscars.com. Dell's Used Cars, doing things different since 1974.
Tax reform impacts virtually every tax return this year. That means yours, too. If you're wondering what that means for you and your refund, but don't want to spend hours reading the tax code, head over to H&R Block. No one knows tax reform better than Block. Their tax pros will help you find every credit and deduction available, so you get every dollar you deserve. Because wouldn't you rather spend more time thinking about what to do with your maximum refund and less time figuring out what a TCJA qualifying eligible dependent is? Hint, it's your kid. In person or online, Block has your back.
If you have OCD, obsessive coffee disorder, then stop by Shift and Grind, located in the green building right across the street from Jack's Pharmacy. Shift and Grind is a proud Lumberjack supporter and has something for everyone. From regular coffees to lattes, mochas, and more, Shift and Grind will keep your day going. Try a Red Bull infused or Lotus energy drink if you're not a coffee fan. On Lumberjack home game days, wear your Lumberjack colors and get a discount on your favorite drink. Shift and Grind now has indoor seating. Shift and Grind open 5 to 6 Monday through Friday, 6 to 4 on the weekends. Shift and Grind, 132 North 1st Street, right here in St. Mary's.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the Hot Deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware, the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
Do you need help finding that perfect gift? Looking for that personalized touch? Come to Jack's Pharmacy in St. Mary's and let us fill your balloons. Not only does Jack's carry all of your gift and party supplies, but we're here to serve you with all your personal care items. Come in and let our personal care experts help you find just what you need from our wide selection. If we don't have it, we can get it. Plan your party at Jack's Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
And we are back here on KOFE, the countdown to tip-off. And we are back, the countdown to tip-off here on KOFE, the JV game with 2 minutes to go in it. Lumberjack girls trail 54-30 to the visiting Sandpoint Bulldogs as we still continue our trip through our pregame countdown to tip-off here on KOFE. The girls, they were on a 2-game losing streak. Now they are no. Step back there a minute. The girls were on a 2-game winning streak, and then they have now lost 2 straight games in a row, and they'd like to bounce back tonight here at home from a tough loss to an undermanned Orofino team last Friday. The girls lost 44-43 to the Maniacs, who only had 5 girls available that started the game. One of those girls fouled out late in the fourth quarter, so the Maniacs only played with 4 players for about 4.5 minutes of the final frame of the game. The Maniacs, from what I understand, Lumberjacks had a steal. They drove it all the way down in the waning seconds of the game, missed the layup on the fast break opportunity, and then on the rebound and going the other way, there was a foul committed against the Maniacs, and they made the free throw to break the tie and take the lead 44-43, and that was only with like 3 seconds left on the clock, and St. Mary's could not answer back to take that win away from an undermanned Orofino team. In that game, Jenna Holder led the team in scoring. She had 21 points out of the 43 points that the team scored. She also had 8 rebounds and 3 steals in the game. Macy Reimel had a good game as well. She had 11 points with 3 rebounds. So that's a recap of the Lumberjacks game against the Maniacs. And we'll take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with more.
Jack Buell Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Buell Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Buell Trucking.
Mountain Plating is a premier hard chrome plating facility, and it is located right here in St. Mary's. Mountain Plating was established in 1997 as one of the first hard chrome plating facilities in Idaho, and it services a wide variety of industries nationwide. These industries include manufacturing, food processing, agriculture, mining, environmental, and the timber industries. Mountain Plating is committed to providing the highest quality chrome plating and customer service in the industry, and is locally owned and operated by Donnie Masterson. Give him a call today at 208-245-7104. Go Lumberjacks!
Don't miss the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event at St. Mary's Sun Cycle. With super low APRs and huge customer cash on class-leading Yamaha sport and proven off-road utility ATVs and side-by-sides. Then visit St. Mary's Sun Cycle today for huge savings during the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event. St. Mary's Sun Cycle at 204 College Avenue in St. Mary's. Offers good through 12/31/19. The ATVs referenced are recommended only for use by those age 16 years and older. Yamaha recommends an approved training course. See your dealer or call 1-800-887-2887. Specifications subject to change. ATVs can be hazardous to operate.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's. Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture in St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and Lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Do you have the in-laws visiting for the holidays? Need a place to hide, a place for them to stay during their visit? Call the Pines Motel at 208-245-2545. The Pines Motel is the perfect place to have the in-laws stay during their holiday visit. Featuring large, spacious rooms and direct TV, wireless internet, AC, and refrigerators, your guests will feel right at home at the Pines Motel. Don't make your in-laws sleep with Fido when they visit. Just call the Pines Motel at 208-245-2545. Your family will appreciate it, and so will Fido.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
And we are back. The countdown to tip-off here on KOFE. JV girls just fell to Sandpoint by a score of 54-32 as the final score of the ball game. Before we get back into our countdown to tip-off, I want to congratulate the St. Mary's Lumberjack Athletic Director, Todd Gilkey. Apparently tonight he is away at a conference, and he was awarded the Bruce D. Whitehead Distinguished Award tonight in National Arbor, Maryland, where he is at for some event that he went to. So congratulations to Mr. Todd Gilkey for getting that great honor here today. And also, I want to mention that one of our Lumberjack graduates that graduated, I believe it was last year, Layla Rice. I just see that she is off to boot camp for the Air Force. So we want to wish Layla Rice the best of luck, and we want to thank her for her service as she goes on to that adventure that they call the military. So that's a couple things I just seen, and we wanted to mention so that we could let people know what's a little bit of things going on around our community and some of the people going on to do things. Now back to our countdown to tip-off. Of course, Lumberjack Sports, our title sponsor, Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union, and they are proud sponsors of the School Spirit Program. They say, go Lumberjacks, together we are better. Now let's look at the last time these two teams faced each other. The Lumberjacks lost to Sandpoint Bulldogs 58-33 in Sandpoint earlier in the season. Not the first game of the year, but it was, I think, possibly the second game. Jenna Holder and Sammy Badgett both had 11 points in that game. They were the leading scorers. Hattie Larson for the Bulldogs had 12 points, and she was the only Bulldog that had double digits in the scoring side of things for the Sandpoint Bulldogs in that game. In order for the Lumberjacks to get going tonight and to bounce back, they're going to have to play, they're going to need to smooth out their offense and take care of the ball tonight. In the games that we have covered, turnovers and forced shots have been a big factor in the game's outcome. They're also still trying to get in a rhythm with each other. I'm not sure if any of the players have really taken a step up and taken a leadership role from a player standpoint yet this season, but we need to see that as well, possibly. These girls are all somewhat new to playing with each other. Some of them have played in the JV level the last couple of years on the same team, but few of them, they didn't get much playing time with a few of the girls that were on varsity last year. So they're all still trying to figure things out, get their offense rolling. They're also trying to figure out, a new head coach and get that chemistry going as well, learning a new system. So it's not like, the skill set is there. These girls are talented. They're pretty good basketball players, but I just think there's some struggles in getting that gelling together part of thing, getting that rhythm, starting to work like a well-oiled machine type of a thing. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on in our pregame. With that being said, we're going to step away. We'll take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with more.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Why should you stop at 10th Street Superstop? Well, because Kenny's a nice guy. Actually, no. Never mind. Yes, Kenny is nice, but that's not the reason. You should stop at 10th Street Superstop for all your livestock feeds and pet feed needs. 10th Street Superstop carries all the top brands. Did I mention Kenny's a nice guy? Oh, and they also have a large assortment of snacks and beverages just for you. 10th Street Superstop for all your farm, garden, and hunger needs. And by the way, Kenny's really a nice guy. 10th Street Superstop in St. Mary's. Fire Chief Larry Nacarado wants to remind you that this time of the year, chimney fires are a common occurrence, but can be prevented. St. Mary's Fire Department wants to remind you that they loan out chimney brushes and rods for free. They do chimney inspections for free, and will even come to your house and offer chimney fire prevention training for free. Don't neglect your chimney. Call St. Mary's Fire Department today at 245-5253. That's 245-5253. This public safety message from the St. Mary's Fire Department. Cold weather is coming, and 10th Street Lumber has what you need. From super premium pellets to energy logs and fireplaces, 10th Street Lumber will help you stay warm all winter long. North Idaho energy logs and stove pellets are the best of the best. 100% natural with no chemicals and burn cleaner, hotter, and longer. If you need a new stove, 10th Street Lumber is a proud Kuma stove supplier. Kuma wood stoves are made right here in Idaho and are some of the best on the market. 10th Street Lumber in St. Mary's. Stop by today. Located on 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's. Winter is here, and it's time to get your animals ready for the winter weather. Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's has what you need to keep all your critters comfortable in the cold temperatures. From trough heaters, straw, to insulated horse blankets, your animals large and small need extra attention just like you. So don't forget, while you're stacking your winter firewood, Your furry family members need winterizing also. Also, don't forget the wild critters. Triple X Feed has wild bird food, deer feed, and game blocks. See Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's today, because winter ain't gonna wait.
Have a home you need to sell? Or are you looking for a place to call home? Then you need to call Mia Sikowski of Timber Realty. Mia is the realtor to see for buying or selling your home. She is always there for you, and your priorities are always important. Experienced in the real estate market, she'll get your desired results, so call today for all your home selling or buying needs at 245-2345. That's 245-2345. Timber Realty on the Main Street in St. Mary's.
Tired of long load times, freezes, and restarts? Before you decide to replace that PC or laptop, let Joseph Doherty of Mend Your Computer Services take a look at it. Specializing in adware, spyware, and virus removal, as well as hardware installation and removal, and data transfers and recovery, Mend Your Computer Services can renew your computer's performance. So before you spend big money on a new PC, call Joseph at Mend Your Computer Services at 208-245-0573. That's Mend Your Computer Services in St. Mary's. Give them a call, 245-0573.
And we are back. The countdown to tip-off here on KOFE. We are about 14 minutes away until the opening ceremonies, so to speak, here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. Lumberjack girls taking on the Bulldogs from Sandpoint. I will have updates of the varsity boys game, and Christy Masterson is going to be getting me those updates here as the varsity game gets going. I will, as soon as she makes her way to the gymnasium over in Lakeland for the boys' game, I will hopefully get an update on how the JV team fared. We will see if I can get that update. She was not there yet when I last sent her a message and asked her. Taking a look at some individual numbers so far on the season for the Lumberjacks. This does not include the games that I have not been to, so they are not 100% spot on the money, especially Holder's points per game are probably a bit higher than this because of the last game where she had 21 points. But we're going to go down the line here. Lacey Sines, she has played a little bit of varsity action. She is a freshman this year. She doesn't have a whole big stat line. She was 50% from the free throw line in that game that I have stats for against Kellogg, where she went 1 for 2, and she had a couple of rebounds in that game. Sammy Badgett and Jenna Holder, they are the high scorers right now on the average for the team. Badgett with about 8 points a game and Holder with about 8. They're probably both a little bit higher because I have missed a couple of games where they scored double digits, and I don't have those stats in my file of other stats. So these numbers are slightly off. Sammy Badgett, though, she is averaging about 29% shooting from the floor, and she is averaging about 67% from the free throw line. She's also pulling down about 5 rebounds per game, 2 steals, and 2 assists per game. She's only fouling about 2 times per game, so not a bad number for her. Jenna Holder, 8 points per game, probably a little bit higher, shooting around 31% from the floor. She is shooting 44% from downtown, 4 of 9 from three-point range, 80% from the charity stripe, and she is averaging 7 rebounds per game. Also, 1 steal and a couple of assists per game for Jenna Holder. Macy Reimel, she's averaging about 5 points per game, 26% shooting from the floor, 80% from the free throw line, and 29% from downtown. She also averages 3 rebounds per game, 2 steals per game, and an assist per game. Next one on the list for high scoring is Tacey Watkins, the freshman. She's averaging about 5 points per game, shooting 53% from the floor, 33% from the free throw line, number you'd like to see a little bit higher. She's also averaging 5 rebounds per game for the Lumberjacks varsity team. Let's see here, 4 points per game for Mackenzie Hammond, 25% from the floor for her. She's also averaging nearly 6 rebounds per game. And let's see, what is her assists? 2 assists per game. And then we've got Ventura with about 1 point per game, Christensen with about 2 points per game, Stacy Mitchell with about 2 points per game, and Katrina Kozer with about 2 points per game. This is stats for 5 of the Lumberjacks games that they have. They've played 10, so I'm missing stats for 5 games for the Lumberjack girls, but those numbers are going to be fairly close. They're not going to be too far off. Now that's a look at the individual stats for the Lumberjacks. Let's take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with more.
You've heard of the 12 days of Christmas, right? Well, Timber Country is having the 12 deals of Christmas. Over $400 in savings. First, get yourself a Gazette record. Second, cut out the Timber Country 12 days of Christmas coupons. Then head down to Timber Country and save some money on your Christmas shopping. Deals like 40% off one Carhartt item or 25% off Under Armour hoodies and base layers. It's all at Timber Country's 12 Deals of December sale now through December the 24th. Must present coupons. Farm Bureau Insurance has been serving Idaho since 1947. Bob Stoll, your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent, is a longtime community supporter, and their office has moved. Not far, just down the street and to the right. Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company of Idaho Bob Stoll agent has moved to 105 North 8th Street in St. Mary's. Bob and Susie invite you to stop by their new office and say hi. That's Farm Bureau Insurance in St. Mary's, now located at 105 North 8th Street. Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company of Idaho, an Idaho icon of strength and stability.
P1FCU gives you the freedom of control. Lost or stolen debit card? You have the control to stop fraud in its tracks by turning off your card from your smartphone. Traveling? Limit usage based on your location. Set up notifications and receive instant transaction and spending alerts. It's time to take control of your debit card with MobiMoney included with your checking account. Only at P1FCU. P1FCU. Your community, your credit union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
And we are back, the countdown to tip-off here on KOFE. We've got 6 minutes until the opening ceremonies here from Lumberjack Gymnasium. Lumberjack girls taking on the visiting Bulldogs of Sandpoint. Speaking of the Sandpoint Bulldogs, they are, of course, a couple of levels up in school size from the Lumberjacks. They are the 4A Intermountain League, or Inland Empire League, actually. I don't think it's Intermountain League. I think I've got that wrong on here. They are coached by William Love. It is his second season at the helm of the Bulldogs. He is 4-4 on this season with a 15th in the power rankings for 4A. Last game was a 46-41 win over the Kellogg Wildcats, and their last year record was a 5-15 record. The Bulldogs, they return a large number of players this year. They have 5 seniors and 3 juniors returning, with a couple of players with honors coming from last year. Those 2 players is senior guard Dawson Driggs, All-League, and Hattie Larson. She's a junior forward. She was also All-League last year. One player to watch for the Bulldogs is a post player, junior Bella Phillips. The Bulldogs have a ton of experience coming back this year as they return those 5 seniors and 3 juniors. With this year, they look to make a statement in 4A play. One of the weaknesses for the Bulldogs might be at the size they have, which I haven't really looked at that on the roster just yet. We will all take a look at that here in a minute. It says they're not very tall, so they will probably be a team that is going to work from the perimeter and not necessarily drive into the paint a whole lot. They look to also have a great defense so that they can limit opponents' looks and try to create turnovers. When they do move to the inside, that's when you'll see junior post Bella Phillips provide most of that inside scoring and also fight for the rebounds for the Bulldogs. Let's take a look at that height or that size differential if I can find my roster for the Bulldogs. I can't believe that they have much of a height advantage at all or disadvantage to St. Mary's, really. Their tallest player is 5'10". That is Bella Phillips, that junior. And actually 5'11", Hattie Larson. Those are their 2 tallest players. The Lumberjacks' tallest players, 5'10", and that's Kirsten Miller. So with the Lumberjacks, they actually might have a slight size advantage as far as that goes. So we'll have to see how that plays in to the game tonight. In head-to-head matchups, the Grangeville Bulldogs lead St. Mary's 4-6, averaging, or not 4-6, 4-6. The Lumberjacks have won 2 games in the head-to-head matchup. The Bulldogs have won 4. The Bulldogs have averaged 56 points per game against St. Mary's. The Lumberjacks did sweep the Bulldogs last year. The Lumberjacks averaged 46 points per game in the last 6 meetings against the Bulldogs. Tonight, the Lumberjacks, I would like to see them cut their turnover numbers down. I know I've kind of said that every game so far, but they are averaging close to 20 turnovers per game. The foul numbers have been pretty high as well, so if they can cut those numbers down, those would be some improvements, key improvements. Like to see that free throw shooting improve. I don't know what they shot at the last game the last 2 games from the free throw line, but I would like to see that number come up as well as trying to out-rebound the visiting Bulldogs. The other things is a little bit more production out of the team, not just the bench players, but the starters as well. Some better ball control, cleaner passes. I'd like to start seeing the team start to gel as they have been trying to work out their team dynamic through the first part of the season. They've played pretty good defense, it seems, at most of the time. Most of their struggles are on the offensive side of the ball. If they can get things flowing, they should be okay. There's still plenty of time left in the season, and although you would love to be district or league champions, nothing really matters until the district tournament anyways. So if these girls can find their groove, start utilizing the talent they have in the way they need to, then they can very well be a team that surprises teams here in the late part of the season. So I'm going to be curious once again to see how things continue to play out for the Lumberjack girls. Once again, they are going to be getting things going here shortly, so I don't think I'm going to take a break. We will take a quick break. We'll be back in one minute.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires. Well, more like Les Schwab alignment and brakes and shocks and wheels and tires. Now, some tire places don't offer all that. They only sell tires. And we're not sure how they sleep at night, because all those services affect things like steering and stopping. That's why we offer more than tires to help keep you safe. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and rockets led there, those bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was the national anthem sang by St. Mary's very own Mr. Aaron Cloud, and he did an outstanding job. I've heard him sing the national anthem before, and he always does a great job with it. Now, for a look at the starting lineups for both teams, we'll start with the visiting Bulldogs from Sandpoint. It will be number 4, 5'5" senior Maddie Morgan. And number 5, 5'8" senior Dawson Driggs. Number 14, 5'10" junior Bella Phillips. Number 21, 5'11" junior Hattie Larson. And number 24, 5'8" junior Kaylee Banks. The Bulldogs are coached by William Love. He is assisted by Dwayne Ward and probably the assistant Joe Feta, the JV coach. Now, the starting lineup for your St. Mary's Lumberjacks. It'll be number 3, 5'4" junior guard Sammy Badgett. Number 5, 5'10" junior guard Jenna Holder. Number 10, 5'8" junior forward Macy Reimel. And number 22, 5'10" junior forward Kirsten Miller. No, actually there's been a change up in that lineup. Number 14, It'll be number 14, 5'9" freshman Tacey Watkins getting her start tonight. And number 23, 5'9" junior guard Mackenzie Hammond. The Lumberjacks, of course, are coached by Kim O'Connor. She's assisted by Dakota Wickard. Lumberjacks in their home white uniforms, the Bulldogs in their visiting reds. The Lumberjacks will be going left to right on your dial, and it'll be number 14 going up against number 14. It's going to be Bella Phillips and Tacey Watkins meeting at the mid-court circle for the jump ball. And the ball is up. The tip is owned by the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs quickly bring it down the floor to the right wing. Now they go up to the top, around the horn, they work it to the near corner. Nobody on the player here in the corner. Shot is up and no good. The rebound went to Tacey Watkins. It was a long three-pointer, and it was off the rim, no good. So I need to make a substitution here because it's not Miller, it's Watkins. I think the Lumberjacks put up a shot on the other end. I was trying to change my subs here and get Watkins on the floor as a starter. Lumberjacks do not make the bucket, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Sandpoint. Lumberjacks look to inbound Hammond into Holder, just off of Holder's fingertips a little bit too hard. Sandpoint comes away with it. Driving the lane, putting the shot up and no good is Kaylee Banks. The rebound went to the wire, or to the Bulldogs. They were going to try for the putback. It's going to be a foul though instead. And that'll be Tacey Watkins drawing her first foul, or committing her first foul. Kaylee Banks misses the first free throw. Second free throw on the way. That one is good. Lumberjacks go the other way. First points on the board for the Bulldogs are from the free throw line. 1-0, and going to be a steal by Sandpoint. Jenna Holder tried to feed a pass across. It's going to be tipped back, and the Lumberjacks turn the ball over. And we get a foul, I think, against St. Mary's. Yes, it will be Holder with the foul. Holder comes out, as does Watkins. And checking in for the Lumberjacks is Reimel. No, Reimel was already in. Let's see here. Christensen and Miller check in for the Lumberjacks. Bulldogs working the ball around the top, and Sammy Badgett gets a steal. Nice interception by Badgett on the far side of the floor. She slaps that ball into the backcourt, chases it down. Lumberjacks back on offense. Badgett has it on the right wing. They go to the top. Hammond backs it into the circle, and now she goes right side, hands it off to Badgett. Badgett looks to Reimel. The shot is up and good. Reimel put it in from the baseline. And with going the other way, we're going to get a turnover as Maddie Morgan tried to drive from the right side. She thinks she got fouled, but no whistle. They're going to call a travel on her. Lumberjacks get the ball. Christensen trying to get a little bit fancy with her dribble down the other way, turns the ball over. Lost the handle while she was trying to go behind her back. Going the other way off the turnover. The Bulldogs make the shot just inside the paint, and it's a 3-2 lead, and then Badgett turns it over the other way with an extra step on a travel. I believe that was Maddie Morgan with the 2 points for the Bulldogs. 3-2 the score. St. Mary's trails by 1. Down to the corner, wide open again from the corner for 3-point. It is no good, but an offensive rebound for the Bulldogs. They will reset. A shot is up and good off the glass. That was Kaylee Banks, as she banks it in. 5-2 the score. Pressure by the Bulldogs. St. Mary's gets it across the timeline. They look to Hammond. Hammond's shot is up. It's no good. Can't finish it. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs shot from the short corner is short, and it's going to be Christensen fighting to try to get the loose ball. Not really fighting for it. She had it all alone, but she knocks it off of her knees and out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Bulldogs. 5-2 the score. 5.5 to go in the first period. Bulldogs work it down. They try to feed it inside. Miller, though, gets a hand on it, and she gets the steal. As the Lumberjacks will go the other way. Lumberjacks are going to try to feed it down inside to Badgett. I think that was going to be Hammond with her turnover. And Lacey Sines is going to check into the game for the Lumberjacks. Mackenzie Hammond comes out. The Bulldogs back on the attack. They are in a weave up top. Drive down to the right corner. Now they back to the elbow, back to the top they go. Lumberjack defense is being pretty stingy. Miller gets another poke, and the possession arrow favors St. Mary, so I'm going to give her another steal because she just stole that possession away. She tapped it out, and she's able to tie the ball up, and Lumberjacks will inbound to pressure from the Bulldogs. They get it in. Reimel has it right wing. Now they feed it to Badgett. Badgett's cutting in. Badgett's going to draw the foul. That'll send Badgett to the free throw line. That foul goes against Bella Phillips, her first. Free throw shooting for Badgett right around 67% on the season. And Badgett makes the first one. 5-3 the score. St. Mary's trails by 2. Lumberjack girls basketball on KOFE right here in St. Mary's. Second shot, that one's off the iron, no good. Miller had the rebound, but the Bulldogs tie it up, and they'll get the possession. So the Bulldogs bring it across the floor. It's in the hands of Banks. She's going to swing it left wing to Maddie Morgan. Now down to the corner. They go to Driggs. Driggs backs the ball back out. She goes up top with it. She's directing traffic. Swings it to the right wing. Timeout taken by the Bulldogs. I think it's just a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. And the first quarter is actually finished for varsity boys. Lumberjack varsity boys trail Lakeland 20-13 after one quarter of play. Thank you, Christy Masterson, for the update. I didn't see if there's going to be any subs stepping in for the Lumberjacks. The score 5-3. 4:09 to go in the first quarter of play, and the Sandpoint Bulldogs lead. Not a bad game so far, except for St. Mary's has turned the ball over 5 times already, and we're only halfway through the first quarter. The Bulldogs will inbound from side court. The Bulldogs have 3 turnovers of their own. Near the timeline, they get into Banks. Banks swings it to the corner to Morgan, back to the top. Badgett almost gets a steal. They drive the lane. They can't get an opening, so they kick it back out. 3-pointer on the way. It is no good. The ball is loose, out of bounds, last touched by Sandpoint, so St. Mary's will inbound. And a bad pass as Sines throws it right to Banks, and Banks puts it up and in. So the score is 7-3. Bulldogs deflect the St. Mary's pass out of bounds going the other way. St. Mary's inbounds from in front of the scores table into Lacey Sines. Sines goes left side. She's going to back it back, tries to get it to Badgett, but it's going to be taken away once again, and the Bulldogs go the other way. Shot is up. It's no good. Sines battles for the rebound. She can't pull it down. So it's an offensive rebound. It gets tapped back out for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs have it right wing down to the corner, now back to the wing. Driving in is Larson. Larson's shot won't go, but she will be fouled. She'll step to the free throw line. That foul goes against Christensen. That is her first. We are going to get a sub here in just a minute. That sends Hattie Larson to the free throw line. Misses the first. A couple of Lumberjacks check in. That is going to be Hammond and Mitchell. Coming out is Signs and Miller. Second shot is missed. Rebound goes to Reimel, and then the Lumberjacks throw it away. Back the other way. Shot is up from in the paint by the Bulldogs. No good. Mitchell with the rebound. And St. Mary's back on offense. Looking to Badgett. Badgett, shot won't go. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. The ball is going to be tied up. And I think it goes out of bounds. Last touch by St. Mary's. 2:48 to go in the first period. 7-3 the score. St. Mary's trails. Actually, Lumberjacks have the ball. They get it to Badgett. Badgett for three off the back iron. No good. The rebound is going to be pulled down by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs quickly down the floor. Kelsey Cessna has it. Down to the corner on the left side. Hattie Larson for three. No good. Gets her own rebound. Bulldogs reset. They have it in the left corner. Now they feed it down inside. Looking for room is Hattie Larson, and she puts it up and good. It's her first bucket of the night. Lumberjacks quickly down the other way. Christensen has the ball, and she loses it. Turns over to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs back in transition. Driving the lane is Cessna. The shot's no good, but they're going to say a foul on Badgett. And the Lumberjacks will send the Bulldogs back to the free throw line with 2:02 to go in the first quarter. 9-3 the score. St. Mary's trails. 4 fouls for the Lumberjacks. The Bulldogs have not been shooting very good from the free throw line, just 1 of 4. That one misses as well. Some changes for the Bulldogs. Isabel Edwards checks in, as does Allie Lish. Second free throw, in and out. The ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Sandpoint. St. Mary's will inbound. They're going to be facing a press again from the Bulldogs. Nice pass down the floor to Badgett. It's going to be poked out of bounds by Sandpoint. Down along the sideline, far side of the floor. St. Mary's will inbound. Mackenzie Hammond will inbound from just the front court side of the timeline. Into Badgett in the midcourt circle. Badgett looks for an outlet. Now she goes right side, has the ball poked, and a little bit of a late whistle, but a foul going to be called. That is number 10 with her first foul. St. Mary's inbounds it, and another foul called as Badgett draws that foul. That foul is going to go against Allie Lish. Lish, a 5'6" senior. 1:49 to go in the first quarter. St. Mary's trails 9-3. Lumberjacks inbound after the foul. 3 fouls now for Sandpoint. 4 for the Lumberjacks. Reimel controls it up top. She's working against Cessna. Picks up her dribble, goes to Badgett. Badgett, right wing. Now she's looking for an outlet. She goes cross court to Hammond, and Hammond has her pocket picked. And going the other way, the Bulldogs put it up and good, and I believe that was Lish with 2 points. St. Mary's back on offense, trailing 11-3. Badgett has it, 1:16 and counting in the first. They go to Hammond. Hammond tries to feed it into Mitchell. It gets tipped, but Mitchell able to come away with it. She's double teamed. She goes back to Hammond, and we're going to whistle on a foul. And that foul goes against Sandpoint. I think that was Reimel drawing that foul. That is Isabel Edwards' second foul. She comes out of the game. St. Mary's will inbound. They go to the top to Reimel. Reimel back down to Hammond. Hammond drives her way in, trying to back her way into the paint, and Hammond's going to take an extra step as she's trying to fight her way in. She's going to get called for the turnover. 1:03 to go in the first. 11-3 the score. St. Mary's trails. Looking to feed it down inside. Wild shot, no good. Own rebound. Second shot is no good. Mitchell got the defensive board. And the Lumberjacks have the ball. Cross-court pass by Hammond as she's trying to feed it down deep to the opposite side to Reimel. Overthrown, and a turnover St. Mary's. Those are some of the things that the Lumberjacks have had trouble doing. They try to force some long passes. 12 turnovers for St. Mary's in the first quarter of play. Bringing it down the floor is Banks for the Bulldogs. She looks inside to the low post, back out to Cessna. Around the horn they go. Driggs with a three-pointer. It is up, and it is good. Lumberjacks are going to be facing that press again, and the Bulldogs are going to kick the pass. It goes out of bounds. St. Mary's keeps possession. 14-3, Lumberjacks trail. It's a 9-point run for Sandpoint. Reimel feeds it to Badgett. Badgett was slightly contested, and then Badgett is going to get called for a travel. Turnover number 13 for the Lumberjacks in the first quarter. Sandpoint has it. That is Lish. They work it around the corner to Banks on the left side. Now they go to the high post. Working her way in is Driggs. Shot at the buzzer is no good. Oops, that is not a free throw. But shot at the buzzer is no good. And that's how the first quarter will come to an end. St. Mary's trails 14-3. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Looking for a new-to-you rig? You're in luck because Dell's Used Cars has your next truck. Dell's has the best variety of pre-owned trucks in one location anywhere south of the internet. Any make, any model, and new inventory arriving daily. Dell's also will take your trade-in, paid for or not. Financing available through Potlatch, Spokane Teachers, Numerica, and a handful of other lenders offering the most competitive interest rates available in the market today. Dell staff is laid back and knowledgeable and ready to answer any of your questions. Come into Dell's Used Cars located at 1818 North 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene or visit their website at dellscars.com. Dell's Used Cars, doing things different since 1974.
Tax reform impacts virtually every time.
And we are back. Lumberjacks trail going into the second quarter, 14-3 to the Sandpoint Bulldogs. 13 turnovers, the biggest number for the Lumberjacks here in the first quarter of play. Just 3 for Sandpoint as they've taken better care of the ball in the first quarter. Got some subs here for the Lumberjacks. Let me see who we got. We've got Kozer is in. Holder is in. Watkins is in. Miller is in. And it looks like the only one on the floor right now from that first quarter end is going to be Macy Reimel, as they've made some wholesale changes to start the second quarter for St. Mary's. Jenna Holder, Tacey Watkins, Macy Reimel, Katrina Kozer, and Kirsten Miller in for St. Mary's. Bulldogs have possession. They have it up top. Working her way in is Cessna. Back to the top they go, now to the corner. Driving, then they dishing it out. Shot is up, no good. Rebound to Miller. Lumberjacks back the other way. Holder being double teamed to the timeline. Has to be careful not to step over. She is able to get past it. They find Kozer. Kozer's shot is no good. Ball is going to be ripped away for a second. And jump ball called possession to St. Mary's as Watkins was the Lumberjack to tie that ball up. And I think it might have been Sophia Platt for the Bulldogs. Lumberjacks will inbound to Kozer. Kozer, left corner, right, left corner, back to Reimel. Reimel goes to the right wing to Watkins. Back to Reimel. Reimel to Holder. Holder at the free throw line. She has to go to Watkins. Stifling defense by the Bulldogs. They are double teaming the ball carrier every time. Back to Holder. Holder backs it out. Looks like a 3-2 zone for the Bulldogs, but anytime they kind of change it up now, they're not double teaming Reimel, but they get it down to Watkins. Watkins looking for somewhere to go. She picks up the dribble. She finds Reimel. Lumberjacks having a hard time trying to penetrate the Bulldog defense. Now they get to a shot up by Miller. The shot was no good. Some rebounds going on. Miller got a rebound. Shot is up and good. This is going to be an interesting one to try to call because I think we had an attempt here, an offensive board. She tried to put up. And I'm going to give Miller, and Miller finally put the bucket in. So 5-14, St. Mary's trails. And the ball's going to get loose. St. Mary's had it in her hand, but a whistle blows, and I think we're going to get a foul. We are going to get a foul. That goes against Holder. Badgett is going to come into the game. And they're going to pull Holder off the floor already as she's been in for very long in the second quarter. Holder angry with herself as she has her second foul. Inbound play for the Bulldogs. Driving is Banks. She kicks it out to the corner, and losing the handle is Cessna, and it's going to be a turnover on the Bulldogs. Lumberjacks will inbound. Badgett controls it. There's that press again. 2-2-1. They've got two defenders in the backcourt, two at about the timeline and one in the front court, and they force a bad pass there as Badgett was wide of the mark. It goes out of bounds. 14-5. St. Mary's trails by 9. 6:05 to go in the half. Bulldogs inbound. It's in the hands of Banks. Banks takes it to the right side down to the corner. She's got a couple Lumberjacks defending. She's going to go cross court, actually into the paint, and that is to Lish, who puts it up and good. Lumberjacks back the other way. They try a quick ball movement of their own. Watkins puts the shot up from just inside the free throw line, about 10 feet away, and the shot won't go. Rebound goes to Sandpoint. And an offensive foul called the other way. I believe Reimel is the benefactor of that. That is the fifth foul on Sandpoint. Both teams with 5 fouls apiece. That foul goes against not Cessna. That goes against 21, Hattie Larson, her first. Lumberjacks inbound. That press again from the Bulldogs. Watkins has it, picks up her dribble, goes back to Badgett. Badgett defended, gets it to Reimel. Reimel bounce pass to Badgett. Badgett double team. She's going to, I don't know where she was going with that, but she turns it over as she tries to feed it in. Unforced turnover, not really a steal. Driving the lane, shot up, no good, foul called. Badgett picks up her second foul of the game. Lumberjacks have some subs going to check in. Mitchell and Ventura, as Hattie Larson goes to the free throw line for the first time today. First free throw is short. Ventura and Mitchell check in. Coming out is Reimel, and also Christensen is going to go in. Reimel, Kozer, and I believe it was Miller come out of the game for St. Mary's. Sandpoint lines up the second free throw. That one is going to fall home. St. Mary's will bring it down. Pressure again. 5-17. St. Mary's trails. Ventura has it. She's going to go to Christensen. Christensen works her way back to the midcourt circle. She's going to be double teamed and loses the ball. Now Mitchell has it. Mitchell goes to Badgett, and we're going to get a foul on Sandpoint as Badgett draws a foul. That'll be foul number 6 against Sandpoint. Bella Phillips checks into the game for the Bulldogs. That is Cessna's first foul. I believe that might have been Cessna that came off the floor. No, she is still there. St. Mary's will inbound. They try to feed it into Christensen, and the ball is going to... Nope, they say it actually comes off of Sandpoint, so St. Mary's will keep the possession. The ref first pointed Sandpoint's direction, then changed his mind. Christensen inbounds to Ventura. Ventura up top. She's looking for an outlet. Now she dribbles. She's going to bounce it to Christensen. Christensen reverses floor, goes up the top, now goes back towards the right. She bounces it to Ventura. Ventura drives through. She dishes it out to Watkins. Watkins can't find anybody to go to. Now they look inside to Badgett. Badgett spins, has her shot partially blocked. The rebound to the Bulldogs, and they put it up and good. That was Lish putting it up and in. Going the other way, Badgett going to get called for foul number 3 on an offensive foul. She's going to get called for the charge. Mitchell is going to come, no, not Mitchell, Watkins comes out. Miller comes back into the game. We've got an update. It's 39-26 at halftime. I'm not sure if that's in favor of who's winning. I'm not sure. That just says 39-26. I think it might be St. Mary's trailing in Lakeland. Bulldogs work the ball around the top. Now down to the corner. Now they look inside. Miller gets another steal. And the Bulldogs turn the ball over. Badgett's going to come out for the Lumberjacks. Reimel checks in. Press from the Bulldogs again. Ventura has it. She's going to take it down the left side of the floor. She looks to try to feed it inside to, I think, to Miller. It's going to come off the foot of a Bulldog player, so it stays with the Lumberjacks. 3:41 to go in the first half. St. Mary's 19-5 deficit. Out to the corner. Christensen pulls the quick 3. It's no good, but she's going to be fouled. I think they said that foul was on number 3, Daly Driggs, and her first foul. So that is, the score is 39-26 in favor of the Lakeland Hawks. Christensen makes the first free throw. I think it's the first, no, it's not the first bucket for the Lumberjacks. Christensen's second free throw is in and out. Christensen 43% from the free throw line on the season. Second free throw bounces in. 19-7 is the score. Both teams with 7 fouls apiece. Bulldogs have the ball. Shot from the elbow is no good. Offensive rebound, though, to the Bulldogs. They will reset their offense. Down to the corner, back up top, around the horn they go. It's in the hands of Daly Driggs. She drives, kicks it all the way across the court. From the short corner, the shot is up and good. And that was by number 1, Cessna. Lumberjacks now turn the ball over. Christensen turns it over, and the Bulldogs cash in on another bucket. That was Daly Driggs putting up 2 points for the Bulldogs. 23-7, St. Mary's trails. Lumberjacks feeding it down the floor. They get it to Ventura. Ventura drives and puts the shot up and in off the glass from the left side of the floor. 2:35 and counting. Cross-court pass, out, feed it back into the paint. Nice spin into the lane. It's up and good. And that was a nice move there. An assist to Driggs. That press again by the Bulldogs. And a pass that's a little bit too long from Ventura goes out of bounds. St. Mary's turns it over. Katrina Kozer checks in for St. Mary's as Mitchell comes out for the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks are down by 16 with almost just about 2 minutes left in the half. Bulldogs have it, left wing. Now they go back to the top. Into the hands of Larson. Back to the corner. And we're going to foul called. Ventura gets tangled up. They call the foul against the Lumberjacks. That's going to send Dawson Driggs to the free throw line. It's her first time there. First free throw is up. It's going to fall home. Didn't look like it was going to stay down, but just rolled in off the front rim. Second free throw on the way. That one is good as well. 27-9. St. Mary's trails by 18. Christensen finds Kozer. Kozer finds Reimel. Reimel sets up for the three off the front iron. The ball is loose. Reimel pulls down the rebound. Lumberjacks reset. Ventura has the ball almost poked away. Coming away with it, Christensen. Christensen gets trapped. Goes to Reimel, cross court, left wing. Reimel backs it up, slows down the action. A minute and a half to go in the first half. Reimel working her way down to the right side. Now she's going to, I'm not sure what she tried to do, but she turns the ball over. She looked like she tried to pass it to Ventura, and Ventura was not facing the right way, going the other way. We're going to get Dawson Driggs on the layup as she drives it in from the left side. A timeout taken by St. Mary's. St. Mary's first timeout. Lumberjacks down by 20, 29-9 with a minute 12 to go in the first half of play. It has not been the prettiest of games here for Lumberjacks in the first half. 18 turnovers. They did cut that down. They had 13 in the first quarter, so they only added 5 more here in the second quarter, but they're already up to 18 turnovers total, while the Sandpoint Bulldogs only have 5 on the game. The best number for St. Mary's right now is their shooting percentage from the free throw line, as they are 60% from the charity stripe. They have been out-rebounded 11-9 by Sandpoint here in the first half, so it's not been the start that they want to see here. Getting ready to come out of the timeout. It may have been a full. I didn't pay attention to how long of a timeout it was, but they break the timeout. Reimel, Miller, same 5 on the floor for St. Mary's. The Bulldogs into a different type of a press here, it looks like. They get it into Kozer. Kozer's going to pick up her dribble. She goes back to Reimel. Reimel goes to the middle to Christensen. Christensen gets fouled. That foul goes against Dawson Driggs, her first. I'll send Christensen to the free throw line, where she is 2 of 3. And she makes the first one. Lumberjacks cut it to a 19-point deficit. Still a big hole. Christensen's second one, nothing but net. Sierra Christensen with 4 points. The Bulldogs bring it down, coming down to a minute left. They try to feed it to the corner. Reimel's going to get a hand on it, tips it out of bounds on the right side of the floor. Lumberjacks on defense, 2-3 zone. Bulldogs working around the top. Into the hands of Larson. Larson down to the opposite corner on the right. 3-point shot on the way. It's no good. Rebound to number 21. She puts it up and good. That's Hattie Larson. Lumberjacks trying to get it across the timeline. Ventura has the ball stolen. Shot is up and good. That is by Kaylee Banks, as she puts it up and good from the paint. Lumberjacks again trying to break that press. That's probably been the biggest thorn in St. Mary's side besides the defense down on the Lumberjack side, but also that press. Bad pass by Reimel. She throws it right to the defense. And they're going to bring it back down the floor. 3 seconds. 1 second. 5 seconds. Shot at the buzzer off the glass and good. As nobody came out to defend her. That was number 5, Dawson Driggs, with her second three-pointer of the game as the first half comes to an end. St. Mary's trails 36-11. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Tax reform impacts virtually every tax return this year. That means yours, too. If you're wondering what that means for you and your refund, but don't want to spend hours reading the tax code, head over to H&R Block. No one knows tax reform better than Block. Their tax pros will help you find every credit and deduction available, so you get every dollar you deserve. Because wouldn't you rather spend more time thinking about what to do with your maximum refund and less time figuring out what a TCJA qualifying eligible dependent is? Hint, it's your kid. In person or online, Block has your back.
If you have OCD, obsessive coffee disorder, then stop by Shift and Grind, located in the green building right across the street from Jack's Pharmacy. Shift and Grind is a proud Lumberjack supporter and has something for everyone. From regular coffees to lattes, mochas, and more, Shift and Grind will keep your day going. Try a Red Bull infused or Lotus energy drink if you're not a coffee fan. On Lumberjack home game days, wear your Lumberjack colors and get a discount on your favorite drink. Shift and Grind now has indoor seating. Shift and Grind open 5 to 6 Monday through Friday, 6 to 4 on the weekends. Shift and Grind, 132 North 1st Street, right here in St. Mary's.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the Hot Deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware, the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
Do you need help finding that perfect gift? Looking for that personalized touch? Come to Jack's Pharmacy in St. Mary's and let us fill your balloons. Not only does Jack's carry all of your gift and party supplies, but we're here to serve you with all your personal care items. Come in and let our personal care experts help you find just what you need from our wide selection. If we don't have it, we can get it. Plan your party at Jack's Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Jack Buell Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Buell Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Buell Trucking.
Mountain plating is
And we are back after our quick timeout. It is halftime, and Lumberjacks trail 36-11. Not the first half that Coach Kim or the Lumberjacks wanted, I am sure. The Lumberjacks had the lead once as they led by one as they scored the first bucket. And the best run for St. Mary's has been just 2 points. The biggest deficit for the Lumberjacks is their current deficit, 25 points. And the best series for the Bulldogs was a 9-point run in the first quarter. There were no ties. There's been 3 lead changes as Lumberjacks did have the lead a couple of times in this one. Looking at the numbers here, St. Mary's has had 6 possessions with shots made, and the Bulldogs have 16. St. Mary's has 9 possessions with shots missed, and the Bulldogs have 14. St. Mary's no fast break points. They've had a few fast breaks. They just haven't been able to get the bucket to fall in. The Bulldogs with 4. 8 points on second chances for Sandpoint, 2 for the Lumberjacks. And Lumberjacks have only 4 points in the paint. The Bulldogs with 22. Let's see here. Trying to get this to scroll a little bit further down. Points off the starters for St. Mary's, 5. 6 points off the bench for St. Mary's. And that is those numbers there. Now we'll take a look at the team statistics. St. Mary's just shooting 25% from the floor. They are 3 of 10 from 2-point range, 0 of 2 from 3-point range, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, shooting 71% from the charity stripe. Just 9 rebounds for St. Mary's, 1 assist, 4 steals, 20 turnovers. That's probably the key number here in the first half is 20 turnovers. 8 personal fouls for St. Mary's. The Bulldogs, 51% from the floor, 59% from 2-point range. They are 28% from downtown, and just 40% from the free throw line, 4 of 10. They have 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 steals. They turned the ball over just 5 times. They committed 8 personal fouls in the first half. Individually for the Bulldogs, leading scoring is Dawson Driggs. She has 10 points, a couple of free throws, and 2 3-pointers and 1 2-pointer in the game. 6 points for Allie Lish. I'm getting ahead of myself. So 7 points for Kaylee Banks, 6 points for Lish, 5 points for Larson, 4 points for Daly Driggs, 2 points for Kelsey Cessna, 2 points for Maddie Morgan. And that is the scoring for the Bulldogs individually. I'm sure it's not going to be a lot to look at for the Lumberjacks as they've struggled to get points on the board here this evening. 4 points for Christensen, 2 points for Ventura, 2 for Reimel, 1 for Badgett, and 2 for Miller. Leading rebounder for the first half for St. Mary's was Miller with 3 rebounds. She also had 3 steals in the first half. So not a bad first half for Miller as far as the rebounds and the steals go. Lumberjacks, they are going to have to make some big adjustments here at halftime. Hopefully they can get those adjustments made and put a dent in this lead here in the second half. We'll be back in 1 minute.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
Don't miss the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event at St. Mary's Sun Cycle. With super low APRs and huge customer cash on class-leading Yamaha sport and proven off-road utility ATVs and side-by-sides. Then visit St. Mary's Sun Cycle today for huge savings during the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event. St. Mary's Sun Cycle at 204 College Avenue in St. Mary's. Offers good through 12/31/19. The ATVs referenced are recommended only for use by those age 16 years and older. Yamaha recommends an approved training course. See your dealer or call 1-800-887-2887. Specifications subject to change. ATVs can be hazardous to operate.
Have you ever?
Do you have the
And we are back. I hopefully get the starting lineup settled here in a moment, as it's going to be the original starters for St. Mary's. Sandpoint with a three-pointer, offensive rebound. No good. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Sandpoint. St. Mary's will be inbounding. St. Mary's bringing it across. Christensen on the floor. Christensen, Holder, Reimel, Miller, and Watkins. And Watkins, or Miller, I should say, turns the ball over. Lumberjacks the other way, and a turnover on Sandpoint, as I think it was a turnover, as Holder comes away with the ball. It might have been a shot by the Bulldogs. They get it to Christensen. Christensen up top. Pressure comes out on here. They go to Holder. Holder goes to the corner to Reimel. Right side. Reimel's going to look baseline. She can't get anywhere to go. She picks up her dribble, and she's going to wisely bounce it off the foot of a Bulldog player. St. Mary's inbounds into Miller. Now they go back to the top to Christensen. Christensen reverses floor and then weaves it off to Holder. Holder drives. The shot won't go, but she will be fouled. And she'll go to the free throw line. That is the first foul on Maddie Morgan. Holder's first free throw is up and good. It's Holder's first bucket of the night. Second free throw is up and good. 6:40 to go in the third quarter. St. Mary's trails 36-13. Bulldogs take it to the free throw line, kick it out now to the short corner, left side. Shot is up and good. And that was number 4, Maddie Morgan, from the short corner. Now we get a foul going the other way against Sandpoint. Maybe that was Miller drawing that foul, I'm not sure. Not seeing who that foul was called against yet. St. Mary's inbounds. They have it in the corner. Back up at the top. They go trying to feed it down to Christensen. Sandpoint tips it out of play. They did never change or put the player that committed the foul for Sandpoint. St. Mary's inbounds down to Watkins. Watkins looks into Miller, Miller. Miller gets back out to Watkins. Now they go to Holder. Holder up top. Holder to Reimel. Reimel sets up Lumberjack offense. Now to Christensen. Back down to Holder. Holder fakes a shot, steps back. Shot is up, no good. Rebound to Christensen. Christensen couldn't get the shot to go. I didn't see Christensen check in. I'm not sure who she came in for. I will get that figured out here in just a minute to get Christensen in the game. Reimel gets a steal, and she puts it up and good the other way. Lumberjacks back on defense. 15-38, Lumberjacks trail. A shot is up by Sandpoint, and it's no good. Ball goes out of bounds, last touched by St. Mary's. Coming in for the Lumberjacks is Kozer. Watkins comes out, so now I've got to figure out who isn't on the floor. Badgett is the one that's not out there. Bulldogs inbound to the left corner, driving. Shot is up, it's no good. Rebound to Holder. Holder has the ball. Up top, double team, backs it back out, goes to Reimel. Reimel on the right. She goes cross court to Kozer. Kozer is going to be fouled. That will be foul number 2 against Driggs. Kozer's first free throw is left short, off front iron. Kozer just 25% from the charity stripe in the games that I've called. Second free throw is up and good. 38-16, St. Mary's trails, trying to make a dent in the lead. Bulldogs have it up top. Now they go to the right wing. Driving is Banks. She goes to the left wing, dishes it out to Driggs. Driggs gets called for the travel. Turnover on Grangeville, or not Grangeville, turnover on Sandpoint. Now we're going to get a timeout taken by Sandpoint. That is their second. It is a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here as St. Mary's has come out and done okay here to start the second half, as they have made a couple of shots, made a couple of free throws. They're playing a little bit better defense, but they still trail by 22 points. So far, I think they've only turned it over once in the second half. Waiting to see the next update from that boys game. They're playing a very tough Lakeland Hawks team over in Lakeland. I'm curious to see if the boys can bounce back, as they were trailing 39-26, down by 13 at the halftime. Christensen controls it for St. Mary's in the backcourt. She's looking for help, gets it across the timeline, gets it to Reimel. Reimel goes into Holder. Holder works her way underneath. The shot is up and in as she went underneath. Had to do a little bit of extra work to get it there, but she does put it up and in. Lumberjacks cut it to a 20-point lead. Stepping into the paint is Larson, Hattie Larson, for a bucket for the Bulldogs. As she re-extends it back out, Reimel is going to have the ball taken from her, with a steal by the Bulldogs. 4 minutes to go in the third period, 40-18. Up top with the ball is Dawson Driggs. She's directing traffic. She has Christensen on her. They go to the corner now. They feed it back to Driggs. Driggs looks inside. Nice move. Shot is up and in. That was Sophia Platt with her first bucket of the night. And the Lumberjacks are going to turn the ball over the other way. I believe that was Holder with the turnover. Coming back into the game for St. Mary's is Sammy Badgett. Out is Christensen. Also coming out is Miller. Checking in is Stacy Mitchell, the freshman. Lumberjacks back on defense. Bulldogs go to the top with the ball. Now they go to the opposite wing. Three-point shot on the way. It's up and good. That's number 4, Morgan. Maddie Morgan with 5 points in the second half. St. Mary's facing some stiff defense, and the ball is going to come out of bounds, go out of bounds off of Sandpoint, as Badgett got triple teamed over near the sideline. So the Bulldogs quickly stretch it back out to a 27-point lead. They get it into Holder. Holder's jump shot is no good. The rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Lumberjacks back the other way. They get I think Badgett got a steal. She's going to drive down, try to take a shot, and I think it's going to be a block shot by Sandpoint. Goes out of bounds, last touched by the Bulldogs. They get it into Mitchell. Mitchell gives it back to Badgett. Badgett has it taken away. Going the other way, we're going to have foul called, and that looks like it's a foul against Jenna. Miss Holder picks up her third. Just got the update. The Lumberjack boys trail by 12, 53-41 in Lakeland. That's at the end of the third, I do believe. Ventura goes into the game for St. Mary's. Hammond goes in. Holder and Reimel come out. 2.5 to go in the third period. Bulldogs back up to a 27-point lead. St. Mary's had it down to 20 at one point. Bulldogs work it around. Gonna drive. Shot is up and good. That was Dawson Driggs with her first bucket of the third. Lumberjacks down by 29. Biggest deficit, I do believe. Ventura has the ball. She's being heavily defended by the Bulldogs as they play an in-your-face defense. Kozer is having the ball get poked away as they're all up in her face, the defense is. She tries to get the ball away, and it's going to be poked out by Sandpoint. St. Mary's keeps possession with 2:02 to go. Inbound pass to Badgett. Badgett has it. She goes to Ventura. Ventura drives, looks for someone to go with it, puts up the shot. It won't fall. The ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Bulldogs. And St. Mary's will keep possession. Inbound. They go to the top to Badgett. Badgett to Ventura. Ventura has the ball. She's going to pick it up just at the point. Goes back to Badgett. Badgett right wing. Now to they try to feed it to Mitchell. Mitchell out of possession. And it would have been out of bounds, I think, off of Sandpoint. But the Bulldogs save it back in. And then Mitchell turns it over as she has the ball stolen away. She was trying to feed it to one of her teammates. And it was just the defender was right there. Shot from the short corner. It's an air ball. And Mitchell, I'm going to give Mitchell with the rebound. Then we get a foul, I believe that was on Sandpoint. That was Steiger. Fourth foul for the Bulldogs. St. Mary's inbounds. Almost a minute to go in the third. Lumberjacks trail 47-18. Ventura brings it near side, drive, shot is up, it won't fall, fight for the loose ball, and the Bulldogs are able to come away with it. And the Bulldogs put it up and good. I did not see who made that one. The Lumberjacks working it back on offense. And Lumberjacks turn the ball over. The Bulldogs trying to go the other way. They almost lose the handle. Not sure who turned it over for St. Mary's. 49-18, 23 seconds. Bulldogs work it inside. Shot is up off the glass, no good. Hammond on the rebound. Badgett's going to bring it across for St. Mary's. Down to Ventura. Ventura picks up her dribble, takes a little step. She's going to go for the shot, air ball, and the rebound goes to the Badgers, or not to the Badgers, to the Bulldogs, and that's how the third quarter will end. 49-18, St. Mary's trails, and they trail by 31. We'll be back in 1 minute.
In-laws invading, I mean visiting for the holidays? Need a place to hide, I mean a place for them to stay during their visit? Call the Pines Motel at 208-245-2545. The Pines Motel is the perfect place to stick, I mean have the in-laws stay during their holiday visit. Featuring large spacious rooms and direct TV, wireless internet, AC, and refrigerators, your guests will feel right at home at the Pines Motel. Don't make your in-laws sleep with Fido when they visit. Just call the Pines Motel at 208-245-2545. Your family will appreciate it, and so will Fido.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Lumberjacks will inbound to start the final period of play. Lumberjacks trail by 31, 49-18. Reimel has it. I got to get the subs changed up here for St. Mary's as Holder has the ball taken away from her. Trying to see who is in. Watkins is in for the Lumberjacks. There's going to be a shot up the other way by the Bulldogs. It's no good. St. Mary's comes away with it. Lumberjacks bring it the other way. They're going to get it to Holder. Holder's shot won't go. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Shot from the Bulldogs is up. It is no good. The ball goes out of bounds. Last touched, I think, by the Bulldogs. I think it was a three-point shot missed. And St. Mary's will have possession. Christensen to Reimel. Reimel is going to be fouled. That foul, I believe, is against Kelsey Cessna. She is going to go out. That's her second foul. Coming in for her is Daly Driggs. St. Mary's inbound. Holder has it. Back to Reimel. Reimel a long three. It's short. It was a good look. Just left that one a little bit short on that long three from the left side. Bulldogs on the rebound. They have it. Down to the left corner. Back to the top. Now to the opposite side. Now to the opposite corner. Driving is Steiger. Steiger's shot is actually, it was not Steiger's shot, but it was no good. Christensen on the rebound. St. Mary's back the other way. Reimel has the ball. She's going to drive. Now she gets double teamed. She looks to Christensen. Christensen trying to find somebody, but she's double teamed and she's going to be fouled. That foul goes against Brooklyn Steiger, her second. 30-point lead, so it is a running clock. Christensen will inbound. She goes to Reimel. Reimel near the timeline. Back to Christensen. Christensen to Holder. Holder into Christensen. Christensen in the paint. Christensen draws the foul inside. She'll go to the free throw line. That foul goes against Bella Phillips, her second foul. Seventh foul for the Bulldogs in this second half. Christensen makes the free throw. Lacey Sines is going to come in. Jenna Holder is going to come out. And Christensen makes both free throws. Lumberjacks trail by 29, 49-20. Bulldogs have it the other way. Fake one way down to the corner on the right side for the Bulldogs into Lish. Lish, a bad pass. She's going to turn it over. She throws it right to Reimel. Reimel looks to Sines. Sines works her way along the post. Shot is up. It's no good. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs try to feed it inside. Christensen's going to tip it out. The ball will stay with the Bulldogs. 4 minutes and counting in the final frame here. 49-20 the score. St. Mary's trails. Inbound. Shot is blocked. They're going to call a tie-up. I'm going to give the block shot to Watkins. As Watkins is going to come out now, Katrina Kozer steps back in. The ball possession stays with Sandpoint. Sandpoint inbounds. Driving is number 10. That's Edwards. She kicks the ball to the top. Now back out to the short corner. Now back to the wing as the Bulldogs work it around. Now back to the top. It's into the hands of Driggs. Driggs to Lish. Lish down to the corner. And they're going to call a foul there. I think it's going to be against Signs. It is. Second team foul for St. Mary's. Signs first foul. Bulldogs inbound. Under 3 to go. Corner. Long shot on the way. No good. Offensive rebound. I think it might have been a three-pointer. The Bulldogs will reset. Shot. Driving. No good. Ball is tipped around. And Christensen comes away with it for St. Mary's. Christensen across the timeline. Drives the top. Picks up her dribble. She goes to Reimel. Reimel looks to Signs. Signs back to Christensen. Christensen busts the shot. It's good. Signs with the assist. 49-22. Rough game here for the Lumberjacks tonight as they trail to the Sandpoint Bulldogs. Bulldogs slowing it down. Out to the corner. Now going to be, the ball is almost taken by Miller, and Bulldogs able to keep possession. And putting the bucket up and good is Daly Driggs. Signs, picks up her dribble. She's going to go to Reimel. Reimel is going to be fouled. That'll send Reimel to the free throw line. I believe is foul number 3 on Steiger. Stacy Mitchell comes back into the game as Miller comes out. No, Miller was already out. Christensen is going to come out. Badgett goes in. Free throw is missed. I'm trying to think of who's not in there. Is Hammond not on the floor? Hammond is not on the floor. Free throw is up and no good by Mitchell. Rebound to the Bulldogs. And we get down to under a minute to go. Bulldogs work down underneath. Shot off the glass, no good. Mitchell gets the rebound. St. Mary's brings it the other way with time winding down. Signs. Signs has it up top. Now back to Reimel. Reimel near the timeline. She's going to find Mitchell. Mitchell left corner. Now back to Reimel. Ball is going to be tied up. Jump ball, and the possession should stay with the Lumberjacks. It does. Reimel inbound to Signs. Back to Reimel. Now to Badgett. Badgett gets trapped. Reimel. Nice little shot. It won't fall for Reimel. Rebound to the Bulldogs. 6 seconds. Working the ball around, and Reimel drives in. They're going to call a foul, but it's going to be blown off. I think there's not even going to worry about it as the time expires. And Reimel comes up a little gimpy after hitting the ground. I think she hit her knee on the floor. So that is the end of the game. Lumberjacks fall 51-22 to the visiting Bulldogs here in St. Mary's. We'll take a 3-minute break and we'll come back with our final
Wondering how to manage
wrap-up.
your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Why should you stop at 10th Street Superstop? Well, because Kenny's a nice guy. Actually, no. Never mind. Yes, Kenny is nice, but that's not the reason. You should stop at 10th Street Superstop for all your livestock feeds and pet feed needs. 10th Street Superstop carries all the top brands. Did I mention Kenny's a nice guy? Oh, and they also have a large assortment of snacks and beverages just for you. 10th Street Superstop for all your farm, garden, and hunger needs. And by the way, Kenny's really a nice guy. 10th Street Superstop in St. Mary's. Fire Chief Larry Nacarado wants to remind you that this time of the year, chimney fires are a common occurrence, but can be prevented. St. Mary's Fire Department wants to remind you that they loan out chimney brushes and rods for free. They do chimney inspections for free and will even come to your house and offer chimney fire prevention training for free. Don't neglect your chimney. Call St. Mary's Fire Department today at 245-5253. That's 245-5253. This public safety message from the St. Mary's Fire Department. Cold weather is coming and 10th Street Lumber has what you need. From super premium pellets to energy logs and fireplaces, 10th Street Lumber will help you stay warm all winter long. North Idaho energy logs and stove pellets are the best of the best. 100% natural with no chemicals and burn cleaner, hotter, and longer. If you need a new stove, 10th Street Lumber is a proud Kuma stove supplier. Kuma wood stoves are made right here in Idaho and are some of the best on the market. 10th Street Lumber in St. Mary's. Stop by today. Located on 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's. Winter is here and it's time to get your animals ready for the winter weather. XXX Feeds in St. Mary's has what you need to keep all your critters comfortable in the cold temperatures. From trough heaters, straw, to insulated horse blankets, your animals large and small need extra attention just like you. So don't forget, while you're stacking your winter firewood, your furry family members need winterizing also. Also, don't forget the wild critters. XXX Feed has wild bird food, deer feed, and game blocks. See XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today, because winter ain't gonna wait.
Have a home you need to sell? Or are you looking for a place to call home? Then you need to call Mia Sikowski of Timber Realty. Mia is the realtor to see for buying or selling your home. She is always there for you, and your priorities are always important. Experienced in the real estate market, she'll get your desired results, so call today for all your home selling or buying needs at 245-2345. That's 245-2345. Timber Realty on the Main Street in St. Mary's.
And we are back. Lumberjack girls fall 51-22 to Sandpoint here tonight. There were a few good things there in the second half for the Lumberjack girls, as I don't think they turned the ball over quite as many times in the second half as they did in the first half. In any case, taking a look at a few things here. St. Mary's 11 possessions with shot made, 20 with shots missed. I think that's actually false. St. Mary's did end up with some fast break points, as Weimel did get a quick fast break, but that's okay. Those numbers not really that big of a deal, though, as I'm not worried about those right now. 26 turnovers for St. Mary's. Sandpoint just had 10. Lumberjacks had close to 20 in the first half, so they only added about 6 or 7 in the second half. So they did cut off the turnovers, cut that number down a little bit. Points off the bench and points from the starters, 11 for both for them. Looking at team numbers between the two teams, St. Mary's just 23% shooting. They were actually 71% from the free throw line. Good number there. They were out-rebounded. They only had 16 rebounds. Sandpoint with 23. 7 steals for St. Mary's, 9 for the Bulldogs. 26 turnovers for St. Mary's, 10 for the Bulldogs. Another good number, 10 fouls for St. Mary's only, and 16 for Sandpoint. Sandpoint shot 47% from the floor, 54% from two-point range, and they were 40% from the charity stripe. They were also 27% from downtown. Individually, for Sandpoint, leading scorer was Dawson Driggs with 10. 7 points for Maddie Morgan, 7 points for Hattie Larson, 7 points for Kaylee Banks, 6 points for Allie Lish, and 6 points for Daly Driggs, and 4 points for Sophia Platt, 2 points for Kelsey Cessna. Individually for the Lumberjacks, no double digits for St. Mary's. 8 points for Christensen. She led in scoring. 4 points for Reimel, 4 points for Holder, 2 points for Ventura, 2 points for Miller. Kozer had 1, and Badgett had 1. So rough nights for both Badgett and Holder, mainly, as Reimel usually scores pretty good too. But anyways, a tough one for the Lumberjacks here tonight as they fall to 3-8 on the season. Like I said in the pregame, Lumberjacks have a lot of time still in the regular season to get things hopefully turned around and to find a groove, get things moving around in the right direction. And they've got plenty of time to get things going before the end of the regular season and into district play. So we'll just have to continue to see how these girls develop throughout the season, see if they can improve in the areas they need to improve in, and see if they can start to gel as a team together. Anything can happen as the season goes on, and we will just have to obviously wait and see how this is going. I do not have an update yet for the boys. The last score I seen for them was at the end of the third. It was 53-41 in favor of Lakeland. So I don't know if I will get an update before I leave out of cell range and go home, but I will try to let you know the final outcome of that game as soon as I can. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and send it. I want to thank Sandy at the studio. Thanks to everyone.
Of long load times,
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here for our next broadcast, which I think it's going to be boys here at home. I think it's against Potlatch, but I will double check all that. So once again, we will let you know everything in our upcoming schedule here as soon as we know what it is and what we're going to be doing this week. But I believe the next game is Thursday. The boys will be playing here. The girls will be at Genesis Prep on that same day. So we're going to go ahead and send it back to the studio.
Starts. Before you decide to replace that PC or laptop, let Joseph Doherty of Mend Your Computer Services take a look at it. Specializing in adware, spyware, and virus removal, as well as hardware installation and removal, and data transfers and recovery, Mend Your Computer Services can renew your computer's performance. So before you spend big money on a new PC, call Joseph at Mend Your Computer Services at 208-245-0573. That's Mend Your Computer Services in St. Mary's. Give them a call, 245-0573. You've heard of the 12 Days of Christmas, right? Well, Timber Country is having the 12 Deals of Christmas. Over $400 in savings. First, get yourself a Gazette record. Second, cut out the Timber Country 12 Days of Christmas coupons. Then head down to Timber Country and save some money on your Christmas shopping. Deals like 40% off one Carhartt item or 25% off Under Armour hoodies and base layers. It's all at Timber Country's 12 Deals of December sale now through December the 24th. Must present coupons. Farm Bureau Insurance has been serving Idaho since 1947. Bob Stoll, your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent, is a longtime community supporter, and their office has moved. Not far, just down the street and to the right. Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company of Idaho Bob Stoll agent has moved to 105 North 8th Street in St. Mary's. Bob and Susie invite you to stop by their new office and say hi. That's Farm Bureau Insurance in St. Mary's, now located at 105 North 8th Street. Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company of Idaho, an Idaho icon of strength and stability.
P1FCU gives you the freedom of control. Lost or stolen debit card? You have the control to stop fraud in its tracks by turning off your card from your smartphone. Traveling? Limit usage based on your location. Set up notifications and receive instant transaction and spending alerts. It's time to take control of your debit card with MobiMoney, included with your checking account, only at P1FCU. P1FCU, your community, your credit union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the